Stop. Don't scroll. There is a record that was just made in heaven regarding what you have endured in absolute silence this week, and I was sent here to deliver the exact answer to you. What woke you up last night was not insomnia. What made your heart race at 3 in the morning was not anxiety. There was a violent collision inside your bedroom, and you are only breathing right now because someone stepped in front of the blow. So I know how you have been waking up. You woke up exhausted this morning, carrying the physical weight of a spiritual collision you didn't even see happen. You felt an unexplained wave of anxiety wash over your room, thinking it was just stress, not realizing it was the shockwave of a blocked attack. There was a sudden, unexplainable cold draft crossing your bedroom at 3 a.m., leaving a heavy, suffocating atmosphere that abruptly vanished into peace. And it doesn't stop at your physical rest. It spills over into the choices you try to make in the daylight. You have been wondering why your mind feels constantly targeted, completely unaware that the enemy dispatched a specialized assignment just to break your focus in the dark. Good decisions suddenly feel impossibly heavy. Opportunities that were right in your hands seem to dissolve into thin air, and a slow erosion of your peace keeps draining your energy before the day even begins. The impact also reaches the walls of your home. The house itself seems to be absorbing the invisible arrows shot in the middle of the night. Your family might not see it, your children might not understand it, but the atmosphere around the lunch table carries a growing, heavy silence. You sit there, absorbing the spiritual shockwaves, trying to shield them from a coordinated spiritual ambush designed to plant seeds of defeat while everyone is asleep. Today, the blindfold is coming off. I am going to expose the exact mechanics of this unseen spiritual ambush that was orchestrated against you. You will finally understand why this invisible sniper has been aiming at your chest while you are fast asleep, and why the impact was absorbed by a figure made of blinding lightning who stepped in front of the glass. The midnight assignment will be brought into the light, but I am not here just to give you information. I am here to hand you a weapon. By the time we finish, you will receive an actionable, physical tool of spiritual coverage. This is a shield you can deploy tonight. The exact moment you lay your head on the pillow and the house goes completely quiet, you won't face the dark hallway unprotected anymore. At the very end of this message, we will seal this hour together. I will release a prophetic declaration over your life, placing a perimeter of thorns that shreds anything trying to enter your atmosphere uninvited. If you feel the weight of this, please stay until the end. Don't break the connection before the deliverance is complete. Have you ever felt that the spiritual ambush happening to you in the middle of the night is not just human, but rather spiritual? And what if this unseen attack is a sign that there is a battle against the purpose God has placed over your life? While many try to explain this as just stress or insomnia, few realize that this midnight assignment doesn't strike just because of what you have, but because of what God is building upon you. But what if the true reason for this slow erosion of your peace is precisely in what you haven't been able to see about your own life yet? Now think with me. And what if everything you went through until today, waking up exhausted, carrying the physical weight of a spiritual collision, and feeling an unexplained wave of anxiety wash over your room, is the answer to that question you have carried for years without being able to explain? Why does the enemy dispatch specialized assignments just to break your focus in the dark? It was while seeking answers to this that I found this digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Ones Face So Much Envy. This book is not just reading, it is a key of spiritual understanding. A tool made for those who wish to see beyond appearances, stop the midnight assignment designed to strike while your guard is down, and understand why the invisible forces of darkness target those who carry a mark of God. Several chosen ones here on this channel have already felt the call of the spiritual shield, but haven't yet made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But beware, this content may not remain available for long. It reveals spiritual reasons that many people prefer to ignore, because they expose what exists behind waking up with a sudden gasp at 3 a.m., the heavy atmosphere in your bedroom, and sitting on the edge of the bed staring into the dark hallway. Don't wait for the next night's ambush to seek what you already feel you need to understand. Click now, download your copy, and find out why the coordinated spiritual attack designed to strike you while you sleep couldn't stop what God started in you. If you are one of the first to download, come back here and write Amen. This will be your act of faith, and this very day, God can show you the reason why this slow erosion of your peace fights against your life. There is a shadow that stretches far beyond the walls of your bedroom. It is the impenetrable roof over your bed, a wingspan of blinding lightning that intercepts the spiritual arrows before they can even graze your mind. When you learn to dwell under this specific covering, the midnight terror shatters like glass against an invisible wall. The attack still comes, but you only feel the vibration of the deliverance. If you recognize that this message is speaking directly to your spirit right now, leave your like on this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. This isn't just about growing an audience, it is a spiritual algorithm. When you connect yourself here, you declare to the unseen realm that you are actively seeking the armor, and you ensure that the next prophetic warning reaches you before the enemy can set his next trap. And about exactly this, about waking up with a sudden, unexplained gasp at 3 a.m., about the heavy, suffocating atmosphere in the bedroom that abruptly vanishes into peace, and about sitting on the edge of the bed staring into the dark hallway, there is a 3-minute seal that fits exactly into the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, and I will show it to you later on. Tuck it away in the back of your mind. And beyond our digital guide, Chosen One, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived at your house today, and to make it reach more and more chosen ones like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open right below the digital book, in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another person who needs it, exactly the way you need it today. I'll see you there, Chosen One, and if you need to leave before the end of this video, be me. This shield is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment right down below, but I ask you to stay until the end, because without the context that is coming now, the seal doesn't work with the same strength over your mind and your family's peace. Listen to me very carefully, I haven't even told you the most important thing yet. The collision that happened in your room was just the physical aftershock of a much larger war room strategy in the heavenly realms. What is coming next will shatter every lingering doubt you have about the invisible watchman standing between your bed and the doorway. Close your eyes for just a second, or at least look away from the glowing screen of your phone. I need you to focus entirely on the sound of my voice, because the spiritual realm operates in absolute precision, and there are no accidents when a prophetic message finds its target. I am going to describe 5 highly specific things that have been happening in your life recently. If I am right about at least 3 of them, you and I are going to know exactly why you were led to stop and listen to this tonight. Number 1. You have been waking up with a sudden, unexplained gasp at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. Your eyes snap open, and your body jolts as if someone physically shook your shoulders, pulling you out of a deep sleep. You immediately check your surroundings, expecting to find someone in the room, but all you find is silence. You try to convince yourself it was just a bad dream, but deep down in your spirit, you know that was not a natural awakening. You were suddenly pulled from sleep because the shockwave of a spiritual collision had just shattered the atmosphere of your bedroom. Number 2, you have felt a heavy, almost suffocating atmosphere settle over your bedroom right before you try to sleep, as if the air itself has become too thick to breathe. You toss and turn, feeling an unexplainable weight pressing down on your chest, creating a subtle wave of anxiety that you try to brush off as daily stress. But then, almost as abruptly as it arrived, the heaviness vanishes, replaced by a sudden, heavy blanket of peace. That was not a mood swing. That was the precise moment the invisible shield of lightning intercepted the midnight assignment that was assigned to steal your rest. Number 3. You have found yourself sitting on the edge of the bed in the middle of the night, staring into the dark hallway, feeling your heart race for absolutely no logical or medical reason before a sudden calm hits. And what breaks your heart the most is that this unseen arrow isn't just aimed at you, it's bleeding into your family's peace. The house feels tense, your children seem restless, and your family doesn't realize that they are absorbing the overflow of a spiritual ambush that you are quietly trying to fight off all by yourself while they are fast asleep. And about sitting on the edge of the bed, staring into the dark hallway that you just recognized, there is a specific digital book waiting for you in the first pinned comment. Don't touch it right now, just know that your shield is already secured there. Number 4. You have been experiencing a sudden, unexplainable cold draft crossing your bedroom at the darkest hours of the night, even when every window and door is completely shut. It isn't just a physical chill, it is a sudden drop in the spiritual temperature that makes the hairs on your arms stand up, leaving you with the lingering sense that there is an invisible physical presence standing between your bed and the doorway. That cold draft is the residue of a specialized assignment that tried to cross the threshold of your room but was stopped dead in its tracks. Number 5. You are dealing with a slow erosion of your peace that keeps draining your mental energy before the day even begins, making your mind feel constantly targeted. You wake up exhausted, carrying the physical weight of a spiritual battle you didn't even see happen, and throughout the day, good decisions suddenly feel impossibly heavy to make. This isn't burnout or natural fatigue. This is the lingering damage that keeps arriving from a coordinated ambush designed to break your prophetic focus while your guard is down. Now take a second. How many of these 5 hit the mark? 3, 4, 5? If at least 3 hit the mark, you already know that this message is for you. This is not a coincidence, and it is certainly not a random moment in your day. This is a direct intervention from heaven, a rescue mission dispatched to expose the invisible sniper aiming at your chest and to finally secure the impenetrable roof over your bed so you can rest under the shadow of the Almighty. You were completely unaware of the magnitude of what you survived last night, but the Father was not. He saw the spiritual arrow aimed at your mind, and he sent the watchman made of blinding lightning to stand between you and the assigned destruction. The collision happened, but the impact was absorbed by someone who loves you, proving that your life is heavily guarded. Before I show you the instrument of coverage that will shield you at the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, I need to give you the name of what you carry. Because the shield only makes sense after you know the name of the target. And there is a word in Hebrew that defines exactly this coordinated spiritual ambush designed to steal your peace in the dark. A word that recontextualizes everything I just described to you in the last few minutes. The first layer of the secret is about to shatter everything you thought you knew. The fact that you're sitting on the edge of the bed staring into the dark hallway, feeling your heart race for absolutely no logical reason before the calm hits, is the definitive proof. I am not speaking about a feeling, I am diagnosing a symptom. The seal of this hour you are crossing has been seen, and it leaves a trail, because between being chosen and being covered, there is a gap that the envious one knows better than you do. The spiritual attack is not a sign of abandonment, but of exposure. Not because the anointing was revoked, because the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight arrived, and the midnight assignment found you completely unaware and vulnerable. And I'm telling you this because I've seen it happen. I saw chosen ones who were exactly sitting on the edge of the bed in the middle of the night, staring at the dark doorway, waking up with a sudden, unexplained gasp at 3 a.m. I've seen the heavy, suffocating atmosphere in the bedroom turn into a heavy blanket of peace. I've seen the lingering sense of being watched turn into the exact shockwave of a blocked attack. I've seen the slow erosion of your peace turn into a profound realization of a guarded mind. And not because you lacked faith or invited the darkness in, but because the envious one entered the exact moment your guard was down, sending a coordinated spiritual attack designed to strike you while you sleep, without anyone noticing. When I use this word, envious, I am not using a metaphor. I am naming what intercepts your rest, shatters your focus in the dark, and blinds you to the spiritual war room orchestrating your exhaustion. And you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name yet. You woke up exhausted this morning, carrying the physical weight of a spiritual collision you didn't even see happen. You felt an unexplained wave of anxiety wash over your room, thinking it was just stress, not realizing it was the shockwave of a blocked attack. You have been wondering why your mind feels constantly targeted, completely unaware that the enemy dispatched a specialized assignment just to break your focus in the dark. Before I name the shield against this unseen spiritual ambush, bring your thumb to the first pinned comment, right down below. Don't click yet. Just leave your finger resting there, because the decision you are about to make must be conscious. It was exactly seeking this answer that I arrived at this digital book called The 7 Spiritual Reasons Why the Chosen Ones Face So Much Envy. I did not write this to soothe you. I wrote this to equip you, mapping the exact mechanics of a coordinated spiritual attack designed to strike you while you sleep and steal your peace. This material isn't for everyone. It is for those who are ready to intercept the midnight ambush, shatter the invisible arrows of despair, and shield the walls of their room before the morning breaks. Do not ignore the signs. Do not wait for the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight to seek what you already feel you need to understand. It is in the first pinned comment, right down below. Tap the link now, secure your copy, and discover why the midnight assignment has no legal authority to stop what God has decreed over you. And if you are among the first to download it, return here and leave it registered in the comments. Amen. This will be your declared sign of faith. The exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight is your deadline to finally close the door. There is a protocol of defense that the spiritual realm respects. The blindfold is coming off now. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The covering is not automatic. It requires positioning. A guarded target without learning this architecture becomes an open door for the next night's ambush. The digital book that is in the first pinned comment was built upon this architecture, and it is exactly how you will survive the coordinated spiritual ambush designed to strike while you sleep. You might be hesitant, but think about it. It is less than a fast food breakfast grabbed while trying to shake off the weight of the night. It is less than an afternoon energy drink bought just to keep your eyes open after a spiritual battle. It is less than a cheap streaming subscription you use to drown out the silence of an attacked mind. You wouldn't think twice, because those were choices tied to a temporary relief. And here, facing something that can change the spiritual atmosphere of your bedroom for the next 12 months, you will think twice, not because it is worth less. It is the enemy trying to keep you vulnerable to the midnight assignment. This hesitation has a name. It is the same unseen ambush trying to keep you exposed to the dark, but now dressed as financial reasonableness. Do not let the thief win this round, and it has a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and it doesn't fit, send an email and receive your money back in full. No questions asked, no process, no judgment. We remove the risk from your shoulders, especially when what is at stake is the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. You have absolutely nothing to lose. The only real danger is waiting for the house to go completely quiet tonight without a shield. Several chosen ones here on the channel have already lived this. Marcus, 62 years old, a guarded target who was trying to protect his family's peace. He wrote to me on a Thursday night, waking up with a sudden unexplained gasp at 3 a.m. and blaming himself for the heavy atmosphere in his bedroom. He read the book between Thursday and Friday, sitting on the edge of his bed at 2 a.m., and sent me a message saying the sudden cold draft vanished and the heavy blanket of peace finally returned. Joanna, 54, someone who felt completely drained of spiritual energy. She sent an email on a Tuesday morning, feeling an unexplained wave of anxiety wash over her room and thinking it was her own failing mind. She applied the principles on Tuesday evening right before closing her bedroom door and reported that the lingering sense of being watched was entirely gone. Peter, 49, a father trying to maintain his focus in the dark. He commented on a Sunday afternoon, exhausted from the physical weight of a spiritual collision he didn't even see happen. He accessed the digital book on Sunday night at 11 p.m. while sitting in the dark hallway and told me his heart stopped racing for no logical reason and a profound calm hit his chest. Maybe in 3 hours it will be you returning here to tell me your story, because every midnight without this understanding is an open door for the next night's ambush. Every exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, without knowing the name of what is the midnight assignment, is a specific advance of the unseen arrows of despair. Every single night without this spiritual shield is a slow erosion of your peace. And your family doesn't realize it either, and your children don't realize it either. And this slow erosion of your peace keeps arriving, with the same smile, sitting in the same chair, leaving through the same door. And before I deliver the next word that is still coming now, because it is still coming and it carries weight, I need to ask you something that goes beyond the digital book. The message you are receiving here today is reaching you for free, just as it has reached thousands of others who are carrying the same invisible weight. We don't have sponsors. We don't receive large financial backings. This channel remains standing exclusively because of the voluntary support of the chosen ones who understand the spiritual value of what is delivered here. If this word has touched your spirit, and if it is within your reach today, make a voluntary donation to the channel. The link is right below the digital book in the same pinned comment. Any amount, any sum that your heart points to, is exactly what ensures that tomorrow's message reaches another chosen one who is desperately crying out for an answer right now. I am waiting for you there, once again, chosen one. But do not leave now. The sealing is not over. It is the exact name of what is happening to you right now, a word that came from ancient Hebrew and crossed 3,000 years to find you the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. You need to know this name before the house goes completely quiet. Stay. The exact name of what is happening to you right now, the word that crossed 3,000 years to find you, is Shamar. Listen to it carefully. S-H-A-M-A-R. Shamar. It is an ancient Hebrew word that the enemy has tried to erase from the understanding of the chosen ones, because as long as you don't know it, you remain completely vulnerable to the midnight ambush. Many people think that spiritual protection is just a passive wooden shield, a generic prayer you whisper before you sleep. They believe that when they are attacked, they just have to endure the blow and hope for the best. But Shamar is not a passive defense. Shamar is an active, militant guarding over your life, a perimeter of thorns that shreds anything trying to enter your atmosphere uninvited. When God declares Shamar over your house, He is not just giving you a feeling of safety. He is dispatching an angel drawing a flaming sword to physically stand between you and the assigned destruction. This is why you felt that heavy blanket of peace right after the unexplainable cold draft. The Shamar of God intercepted the spiritual arrow of despair before it could pierce your mind. This is the tripartite reality of your deliverance. You are targeted because of your calling. You are attacked when your guard is down, but you are guarded by a militant force that outranks any invisible sniper. The enemy orchestrated a coordinated spiritual attack designed to strike you while you sleep, but the Shamar of the Almighty stepped in. You only woke up feeling the physical aftershock of a blocked blow, and this changes everything about how you will sleep tonight. Because once you understand that Shamar is actively standing between your bed and the doorway, the slow erosion of your peace stops immediately. You no longer have to absorb the spiritual shockwaves or fight the midnight battle alone. The watchman made of blinding lightning is already on duty, ensuring that your morning is secured by the blood of the Lamb. Imagine a sniper aiming a laser directly at your chest while you are fast asleep in your own bed. You do not know he is there in the dark. You do not hear the trigger being pulled, and you are completely vulnerable to the strike. But a millisecond before the bullet shatters your bedroom window, a figure made of blinding lightning steps in front of the glass. The bullet turns to ash upon impact. You only wake up feeling a slight vibration in the floorboards. You sit up on the edge of the bed and think it was just the wind outside. Listen to me very carefully. It was not the wind. It was the shock wave of your deliverance. The collision happened, but the impact was absorbed by someone who loves you. This is exactly what has been happening in the spiritual realm around you. What woke you up last night was not insomnia, and the racing of your heart was not anxiety. You felt the vibration in the floorboards of your spirit because the invisible shield of lightning intercepted the blow. The question is not if you were attacked. The question is, will you finally recognize who took the hit for you? This militant guarding is the exact same coverage that protected Joseph of Egypt, the most envied and most elevated man of the Old Testament. And this is not just a title in a history book. It is a biblical record signed by God himself, showing us what happens when a chosen one is targeted by a midnight assignment. Joseph carried a prophetic mark, and because of it, the unseen forces of darkness tried to break him. He received his prophetic dreams while still a child, and his own brothers envied him in silence. He was sold by the very people who were supposed to protect his peace, thrown into a dry pit and dragged into Egypt as a piece of merchandise. The enemy used the envy of his own family as a coordinated spiritual ambush designed to steal his destiny before his morning could even arrive. But the attack didn't stop there. He was falsely accused and thrown into a dark dungeon for years without guilt. Unseen forces tried to break his mind in the absolute darkness of the prison, attempting to make him lose his prophetic sight. But the Shamar of the Lord stood guard over his sanity. Joseph didn't fight the midnight battle. He slept while heaven fought for him, intercepting every spiritual arrow of despair. Because his mind was guarded by this invisible shield, he didn't lose his focus in the dark. He stepped before Pharaoh and interpreted the dreams, rising to second in command over all of Egypt. He had the practical, applied wisdom to prepare for 7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine, proving that the enemy's assignment to break him had utterly failed against the perimeter of thorns. And he didn't just save Egypt, he saved the very brothers who had envied him, becoming a reflection of the Messiah who was rejected by his own. Joseph survived the absolute darkness because the angel of the Lord stood between him and the assigned destruction until the morning of his exaltation arrived. His peace was never eroded because his mind was sealed under the impenetrable roof of the Almighty, and he didn't take this wisdom to the grave. He left it recorded with surgical precision, a map that has crossed 3,800 years without losing its edge. The man who was sold out of envy left the exact map for those who are envied today, and this map is exactly what you are about to receive as a physical instrument to shield the walls of your room. When you finally understand that this same Shamar is available to you, the heavy, suffocating atmosphere in your bedroom loses all its power. You don't have to face the dark hallway unprotected anymore. The shadow of the Almighty becomes the impenetrable roof over your bed, and the angels of the Lord become the walls of your room. The coordinated spiritual ambush designed to strike you while you sleep is completely dismantled. But knowing about the invisible shield of lightning is only the beginning of your deliverance. There is a specific way to activate this perimeter of thorns exactly when you lay your head on the pillow tonight, and you cannot afford to miss it. The deepest truth is still to come, and it has your name written all over it. Listen to what the spiritual realm is about to reveal to you right now. Let me stop for 1 full minute and put everything you just heard into simple words. No poetry, no metaphor, just the facts. You have been waking up at 3 in the morning, gasping for air, thinking it was anxiety, when it was actually a coordinated spiritual attack. Your bedroom has felt heavy and suffocating because unseen arrows were being aimed at your rest. You have been dealing with a slow erosion of your peace that drains your mental energy and bleeds into your family's atmosphere. But you are only breathing right now because a watchman made of blinding lightning intercepted the blow before it could strike. The collision happened, but the impact was absorbed. And here is who you are inside all of this. You are not a victim of a random nightmare, nor are you losing your mind in the dark. You are a chosen one who carries a mark so heavily targeted that the enemy had to dispatch a specialized assignment just to break your focus. You are guarded, you are seen, and heaven is actively militant over your life. Now, what comes next is not just an explanation of what the envious one tried to do. What comes next is the exact physical tool you need to deploy to ensure that the midnight terror shatters like glass before it even reaches your doorway. You are the guarded target. This means your life holds a profound spiritual weight that naturally attracts intense, coordinated opposition. You carry a specific divine assignment that makes you a high-value mark in the unseen realm, and the envious one knows exactly what is at stake. Your mind is constantly targeted precisely because of the prophetic clarity and light it is meant to bring into the world, making you a threat to the darkness. Because you are the guarded target, every unseen attempt to strike you while you sleep is met with absolute militant resistance from heaven. The invisible arrows of despair are never allowed to permanently pierce your mind. The Shamar of God places an active perimeter of thorns around your rest, ensuring that every midnight ambush is violently intercepted and completely dismantled before it can ever touch your ultimate destiny or steal your joy. You are the silent shield. This means you are the one standing at the edge of the bed in the middle of the night, quietly absorbing the spiritual shockwaves to protect those you love most. You carry the physical weight of the collision so that your family never has to feel the heavy, suffocating atmosphere in the home. You fight the exhausting battles that no one else sees, standing as a barrier in the dark. Because you are the silent shield, the enemy desperately tries to exhaust you in the dark, hoping you will eventually drop your guard and surrender your peace. But heaven recognizes your silent, nightly sacrifice. The watchman made of blinding lightning stands right beside you, fighting the midnight battle on your behalf, guaranteeing that your family remains untouched, your children remain safe, and your home remains an impenetrable, fiercely guarded fortress of peace. You are the prophetic anchor. This means your inner peace is the very foundation that holds your entire household together when the spiritual temperature suddenly drops. You are the one who senses the sudden, unexplainable cold draft crossing the room and recognizes it immediately not as the natural wind, but as a specialized assignment of the enemy. Your spiritual sensitivity operates as the critical early warning system for your entire environment. Because you are the prophetic anchor, the envious one wants to drown you in unexplained anxiety and constant mental exhaustion, aiming to break your focus. But the shadow of the Almighty is your impenetrable roof. The Shamar of the Lord secures your sanity, turning every slow erosion of your peace into a profound realization of divine covering that violently shatters the unseen arrows in the spiritual dimension before the morning breaks. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, if you have felt this unexplainable wave of anxiety wash over your room recently, and you recognize the slow erosion of your peace, I need you to leave a comment below right now. Write, "My sleep is guarded by the Shamar of the Lord." This is not just a digital interaction, it is a firm stake in the ground. You are breaking the silence that the enemy heavily relies on, taking fierce authority over the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, and declaring to the unseen realm that the midnight assignment has finally been exposed. And if this word is confirming the heavy, suffocating atmosphere you survived last night, subscribe to the channel right now. By doing this, you ensure that the next prophetic strategy reaches you before the enemy can dispatch his next specialized assignment against your house. I am going to give you the Midnight Shamar seal. This is not a complex religious ritual. It is a precise 3-minute spiritual perimeter that you must violently activate tonight, at the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow and the house goes completely quiet. You will not face the dark hallway unprotected anymore. Here is exactly what you will do. First, as soon as you sit on the edge of your bed, do not look at your phone. Speak aloud that the Shamar of God is the impenetrable roof over your mind. Second, visualize the figure made of blinding lightning standing between your bed and the doorway, actively holding the flaming sword. Third, declare that no unseen arrow of despair has legal authority to cross the threshold of your room. The moment you complete these 3 steps, you will experience a distinct, undeniable confirmation in your physical body. The sudden, unexplainable cold draft will vanish entirely, and you will feel a heavy, overwhelming blanket of peace settle deeply onto your chest, replacing every trace of anxiety with absolute stillness. And this tool I've just placed in your hands, it's a door. But there is a difference between opening a door and inhabiting the entire house. What I have given you right now covers the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. A covering. What is in the first pinned comment covers the 7 spiritual reasons why a coordinated spiritual ambush designed to strike you while you sleep chose you as a target, not randomly, not by accident, but because something specific in you activated the Shamar over your life. It shows the 3 patterns the enemy uses to arrive at your rest, and it gives you the complete ritual of coverage that you execute before every midnight collision for the next 12 months. You have just been declared the guarded target. But the guarded target without a complete shield is an open door for the next night's ambush. The seal you received right now is real. What is in the first pinned comment is what transforms that seal into armor. And while you hear this, someone just like you has already opened the link and is reading the third reason. I am not rushing you. I am telling you that the link is still there, exactly where you expected to find it, waiting for the very decision you are making right now. But before you decide, I need to show you what the envious one will try to do against this tool in the next 72 hours. The moment you start to operate in what you just received, and this is going to happen in the next 72 hours, 3 specific things will be launched against you. The enemy knows that a guarded target who understands how to deploy their shield is no longer an open door for the next night's ambush. He will not retreat quietly. He will immediately change his approach, sending a highly coordinated sequence of spiritual counterattacks designed specifically to make you drop your guard before the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. The first tactic is the "it's just a coincidence" doubt bomb. This will hit you the moment you step away from this video. The unseen sniper will try to convince your logical mind that waking up with a sudden gasp at 3 in the morning was just a bad dream, and the heavy atmosphere in your bedroom was merely the result of a stressful day at work. He wants to reduce a profound spiritual collision into a mere physical symptom so you don't activate the shamar of God over your mind. Your first weapon against this is immediate verbal disruption. Do not argue with the thought in your head. Walk directly into your bedroom, stand exactly where you felt the sudden cold draft, and speak aloud. I recognize the shockwave of my deliverance, and no unseen arrow will masquerade as a coincidence in my house. Touch the frame of your bedroom door, sealing the threshold with your physical presence, and declare that the shadow of the Almighty is your impenetrable roof against every invisible lie trying to plant seeds of doubt. The second tactic is the crisis of distraction before the ritual. Just minutes before you intend to deploy your spiritual perimeter tonight, a sudden wave of chaos will erupt in your house. The children might suddenly become restless, your phone will start buzzing with trivial emergencies, or an unexplained wave of anxiety will wash over your room, making you feel entirely drained of spiritual energy. This is not a random sequence of events. It is a calculated disruption aimed at stealing your focus right before the midnight assignment strikes. Your second weapon is ruthless, intentional stillness. When this sudden wave of manufactured chaos hits your home right before you are supposed to rest, do not react to the noise. Stop whatever you are doing, sit on the edge of the bed in the middle of the night if you have to, and intentionally slow your breathing. By refusing to engage with the frantic energy, you are starving the enemy's distraction of the reaction it needs, forcing the coordinated spiritual ambush to collapse under the weight of your unshakable peace. The third tactic is the isolation of the one who sees too much. The enemy will whisper that you are the only one feeling this slow erosion of your peace, isolating you in the dark hallway. He will try to convince you that no one else in your family understands the heavy, suffocating atmosphere, making you feel entirely alone in this battle. He wants you to believe that your prophetic sensitivity is actually a burden, hoping the sheer weight of being a silent shield will slowly crush your spirit in the dark. Your third weapon is the profound realization that you are standing in a massive, unseen battalion of guarded targets. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not fighting the midnight battle alone. Other chosen ones are standing in their bedrooms right now, recognizing the exact same cold draft and feeling the exact same collision. When the feeling of isolation tries to suffocate your chest, speak into the silence that you are actively stationed on the wall, completely surrounded by a militant force of angels drawing their flaming swords. And these 3 weapons I just placed in your hands, they are the most urgent. But I need to tell you something right now. There are 4 more tactics besides these 3. I can't open all of them here, not for lack of time, for density. Each one needs its own page with the exact counterweapon, with the specific verbal declaration that neutralizes the attack the instant it arrives. And while I don't deliver these 4 tactics here, the midnight assignment knows all of them perfectly well. All of this is mapped inside the 7 spiritual reasons why the chosen ones face so much envy, along with the exact sequence of coverage applied to completely dismantle the coordinated spiritual ambush designed to strike you while you sleep. You will need this, not tomorrow. You will need this tonight. when the enemy tries to make you think that the sudden, unexplainable cold draft was just the wind, and you don't need to put up a perimeter of thorns. You will need this tomorrow morning, when the unseen forces try to make the memory of this deliverance lose its color, so you simply forget what you survived. And you will need this at the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, when the spiritual attack presses with maximum force to steal your rest. The link is still in the first pinned comment. I am not rushing you. I am warning you that the second day is harder than the first, and the invisible sniper knows this better than you do. But before you even think about clicking, I need to show you what you yourself will do against yourself in the next 72 hours. Because the worst obstacle is not the envious one, it's the voice you confuse with your own. This obstacle is the fear of sounding ungrateful. The enemy will use your own humble nature against you. As you begin to realize that this midnight ambush is actively targeting your peace, a voice will whisper that you shouldn't complain because you already have a roof over your head and food on the table. It will tell you that fighting for your spiritual rest is selfish, making you feel deeply ungrateful for wanting to stop this slow erosion of your peace. It operates under the guise of reasonableness, masquerading as pious humility to keep you quietly enduring the unseen arrows of despair in the dark. But you need to reframe this immediately. Accepting a coordinated spiritual attack designed to strike you while you sleep is not a sign of gratitude, it is a surrender of your prophetic assignment. God did not bless you with a family and a home just so the enemy could turn your bedroom into a nightly war room. Refusing to let the midnight assignment steal your joy is the highest form of gratitude you can offer for the life heaven has entrusted to your care. Your specific defense is to aggressively separate true gratitude from spiritual passivity. Tonight, when that heavy, suffocating atmosphere tries to settle in, and the voice tells you to just be quiet and be thankful, you will declare that your gratitude is a weapon, not a white flag. You will thank God for the Shama over your house, completely refusing to apologize for demanding that the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight is fiercely protected by the blinding lightning of the Almighty. And there is one last thing, the one that worries me the most of all, that I will do with you before this message closes. It is the final layer of this revelation, the exact prophetic seal that will lock the door of your bedroom in the spiritual dimension so the sniper cannot return. Do not look away. Now I need you to completely change your physical posture. Stop everything else you are doing. If it is safe, close your eyes right now. Place your right hand firmly over your chest, over your heart that was racing in the dark hallway just nights ago. Take a deep, intentional breath in and let the heavy, suffocating atmosphere finally leave your lungs. You have absorbed the physical shockwaves of this collision for far too long, fighting the midnight battle alone, but the watchman made of blinding lightning is already stationed at your door. You are simply stepping under the impenetrable roof of the Almighty. Keep your eyes closed, keep your hand on your chest, and listen to the spiritual authority being released over your mind. I release you from the crippling fear of sounding ungrateful, breaking the lie that tells you to accept a coordinated spiritual ambush just because you have a roof over your head. I sever the false humility that demands you suffer the slow erosion of your peace in silence, and shatter the guilt for demanding that your rest tonight is fiercely protected. I release you from the deep shame of feeling constantly exhausted and the tragic pattern of discharging that heavy energy onto your own family. I shatter the cycle of quiet frustration that bleeds into your home. The unseen sniper will no longer use your exhaustion to distance you from your children, and you will no longer act as a human shield in the dark, absorbing invisible arrows of despair. I release you from the disqualifying voices that whisper in the sudden cold draft, trying to convince you that you are losing your mind. I silence the unseen accuser that uses your racing heart at 3 a.m. to implant anxiety. Every lie orchestrated to make you abandon your prophetic focus is now completely dismantled and turned to ash against the perimeter of thorns surrounding your life. I summon the guarded target to take their rightful place under the shadow of the Almighty. You are no longer an open door for the next night's ambush. I activate the spiritual clarity you need to recognize your value, decreeing that every coordinated attack designed to strike you while you sleep will now violently collide with the active, militant guarding of the Lord. I summon the silent shield to surrender the exhausting burden of fighting the midnight battle alone. I activate the heavenly reinforcements over your bedroom, decreeing that the figure made of blinding lightning now holds the flaming sword on your behalf. You will no longer wake up with a sudden gasp, because the perimeter of thorns will actively shred anything trying to enter your atmosphere uninvited. I summon the prophetic anchor to rise with unshakable authority over the spiritual temperature of your home. I activate your divine sensitivity, not as a burden of anxiety, but as an impenetrable roof over your family. Your peace is now firmly anchored, transforming every sudden wave of chaos into a profound realization of deliverance. The midnight assignment is broken, and your morning is secured. Still with your eyes closed and your hand pressed against your chest, make a physical declaration in the spiritual dimension. Speak these words aloud right now, even if your voice trembles. The Shamar of the Lord is my shield. I will not be ambushed in the dark. My rest is fiercely guarded by the blinding lightning. By speaking this, you are locking the threshold of your room from the inside. The sniper has just lost his target. The invisible laser aimed at your chest has been completely absorbed by the watchman at your door. The shattered glass of the enemy's assignment is scattered outside, but inside your bedroom there is only a heavy blanket of peace. The collision is over, and you are finally breathing the clean air of a fiercely protected territory. But do not say Amen yet. Do not move from where you are, and do not break this spiritual connection. We are not done. The seal is in place, but there is one final revelation about who actually sent this midnight assignment against you that you must hear. Stay with me. I cover the atmosphere around your lunch table. I cover those meals where the unseen arrows shot in the middle of the night try to impose a growing, heavy silence over your family. Every time you sit to eat with the people you love, the Shamar of the Lord stands actively around the chairs, completely dissolving the spiritual shockwaves you used to absorb on your own. The enemy will no longer use your exhaustion to suffocate the joy of your gatherings. I cover the physical walls of your house, the exact dark hallway you have stared into, and the safety of your children. I cover your spouse and the quiet moments before sleep. The sudden, unexplainable cold draft crossing your bedroom at 3 in the morning is permanently blocked. From this moment on, anyone who steps inside your home will instantly feel the heavy blanket of peace, because the figure made of blinding lightning is actively holding the flaming sword at your threshold. I cover your waking hours, your daily work, and the good decisions that suddenly felt impossibly heavy to make. I cover every opportunity that was right in your hands, but seemed to dissolve into thin air because of the slow erosion of your peace. The specialized assignment dispatched to break your prophetic focus in the dark is shattered. You will no longer wake up drained of mental energy, and your daylight hours are fully restored by the covering of the Almighty. I see you. I have always seen you. I saw you waking up with a sudden gasp at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting on the edge of the bed, staring into the dark doorway, feeling your heart race while trying to figure out what was wrong. I saw you carrying the physical weight of that unseen collision, believing it was your own mind failing you. I saw you in that specific afternoon, grabbing a quick drive-through meal while feeling completely drained of spiritual energy, desperately trying to keep your eyes open after fighting a midnight battle no one else understood. I saw how you swallowed your exhaustion in absolute silence, just to protect your family from the heavy, suffocating atmosphere you felt pressing down on your chest. I saw the unmade bed from last night, where you tossed and turned under an unexplainable wave of anxiety, thinking it was just stress. I saw you looking at the glowing phone screen in the middle of the night, searching for answers while the unseen sniper aimed at your peace. You thought you were isolated in the dark hallway, but I was standing right there beside you. I saw the moment you sat at the lunch table, trying to shield your children from the growing tension, absorbing the spiritual shockwaves so they wouldn't have to feel them. You acted as the silent shield, taking the hits so your home could remain whole. I saw every tear you refused to let fall because you were too busy standing guard over those you love. You are not losing your mind, and you have never fought alone. Every cold draft that crossed your room was intercepted by my command. I allowed you to feel the vibration of the floorboards so you would finally recognize your calling, but I never allowed the invisible arrow of despair to permanently pierce your mind. You are heavily guarded, deeply loved, and fiercely protected. We break the "it's just a coincidence" doubt bomb before it arrives. We dismantle the crisis of distraction before it is launched against the ritual. We dissolve the isolation of the one who sees too much before it forms a wall around this house. Hear this clearly. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. Receive this in your spirit. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. Carry this into the dark hallway tonight. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. I decree that the shadow of the Almighty is the impenetrable roof over my bed. The angels of the Lord are the walls of my room. No midnight terror will touch my mind, and no unseen arrow will pierce my family. I am sealed, I am guarded, and my morning is secured by the blood of the Lamb. I saw you in that specific afternoon, grabbing a quick drive-through meal while feeling completely drained of spiritual energy. I know you came looking for an answer, but you found a shield. What was sealed here right now will be tested at the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, when the house goes completely quiet. The envious one does not accept without a fight what has just been decreed over you, and whoever is commissioned without covering walks in the open field. The anointing was confirmed in heaven. Now it needs to survive the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. The 7 spiritual reasons why the chosen ones face so much envy is in the first pinned comment right down below. Not as a substitute for what you received in this message, as a companion to defend what was sealed. Because anointing without covering rots at the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight, and the envious one counts exactly on the exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. It is less than a fast food breakfast grabbed while trying to shake off the weight of the night. It is less than an afternoon energy drink bought just to keep your eyes open after a spiritual battle. With a 7-day guarantee, the risk is ours. The hand is yours. Click now, while the decree is still alive in your chest. Not tomorrow, not after the shower, not after talking to someone, because the first person you'll talk to will have a reasonable opinion that will cost the shield of your house, because whoever leaves it for later leaves it for never. And the envious one already knows this. He counted on later when you received the last message that transformed you, and the one before, and the one before that. This one won't be another one. This voice that whispers now, I will do it tomorrow morning, it's just stress anyway, I'll pray and it will be fine. I don't need to spend on this, maybe next week. This voice is not yours. It sounds like yours. It uses your vocabulary. It knows your excuses. But it is the voice of the one who lost today in the court of heaven and is trying to recover ground before your next exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight. Every second that voice gains is a second the decree loses temperature. Click before the envious one speaks louder than the decree that has just been sealed over your head. And if you are already inside, pay close attention to this. And if you want to know exactly what the enemy saw when he tried to cross the threshold of your room last night, and why the figure made of blinding lightning terrifies the unseen forces, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. The revelation continues right there. You cannot afford to miss the next piece of this spiritual strategy. And still in this video, chosen one, before I seal this hour with you, I need to make a final request. If this channel has been a spiritual covering for your life, and if the messages delivered here have helped you stand on days when the battle was too heavy, consider making a voluntary donation to support our work. The link is right below the digital book, in the same pinned comment. You can contribute with whatever amount fits in your hand today. It is exactly this gesture that keeps the channel alive, allowing us to continue mapping the strategies of the enemy and delivering these prophetic warnings to those who are silently crying out for an answer right now. This was my last request. I will wait for you there. I sign this with my own name. I say a powerful yes over the perimeter of thorns that is now surrounding your home. This is an amen with complete intention, a spiritual contract you are closing right now to never again be an open door for the next night's ambush. The shadow of the Almighty is now the active, militant guarding over your rest, and the unseen arrow of despair is permanently dismantled. Share this message with them right now. Someone who needs exactly the same shield you received here today. Someone who is waking up exhausted and carrying the physical weight of a spiritual collision they didn't even see happen. The 7 spiritual reasons. Why the chosen ones face so much envy is in the first pinned comment. This is not a favor you do. It is a service, and heaven sees it. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You are not the same person you were when you pressed play. Feel this gravity for one more moment. The exact moment you lay your head on the pillow tonight can wait another 10 seconds.